All right, y'all. This is Will Tennyson. Now, y'all might be asking, what happened to Will Tennyson? I don't know, but all I do know is I know how to put two and two together. And a couple months ago, he trained at this gym. And this gym has certain rules. This gym has a no bullshit approach, per se. If you're late, you gotta run up a hill and do all kinds of stuff before the workout even begins. You are wore out, right? This gym has rules that in between sets or anytime in the gym, you can't drink water. Gatorade, Powerade, nothing, no liquid. And especially nothing with flavor or color. You cannot close your eyes during your sets. You have to, no matter what you're doing, you have to do a bunch of push-ups in between sets. Now, to the hardcore workout guy, sounds intense, right? It sounds great. Sounds like what you should be doing. And believe me, I work harder than 99.9% of people in regular commercial gyms, so I understand working out hard. But there's a limit and there's a line that you should not cross sometimes. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, and sometimes, most of the time, you shouldn't train like that, all right? Because the two things that's gonna make your muscles, the things that's gonna make your muscles get bigger from training is creating a reason, a signal to allow your muscles to grow. Once you done created that signal, everything after is pretty much irrelevant and actually will make you gain less muscle, all right? Same thing with strength, all right? You training your central nervous system, all right? And the way these guys are training, you're frying it, all right? So you're going to end up getting weaker, actually, all right? Unless you're on some kind of gear. If you're natural, even if you're not natural, all you're doing is asking to be on a bunch of these, all right? So what gym am I talking about? The most dangerous gym in America. Hattie and Unk. Diamond Gym, right? Allegedly, for educational purposes only. I'm not saying they did this to the boy, but what makes me think that happened is this instance right here.
Just go down. Now,
lifting and being smart about lifting, you got to know when to hold them, you got to know when to fold them, and you got to know when to push, all right? Any professional lifter, right? I know these guys are not claiming to be bodybuilders or power lifters, but any smart lifter, whether you this or that, or a little of both, you got power builders, all that, but they know that you should not train at 100% every time you go to the gym. I had to learn that lesson from, my own self and from watching other people. All right, a smart man learns from his own mistakes. A wise man learns from not only his own mistakes but others. All right, so you gotta know when to go lighter. You gotta know when to go heavier. You gotta have a program, and these guys is going in and going all out. Pound for pound, they're not that strong. I'm not dissing them, I'm just saying, pound for pound, they're not that strong. All right? Even at 100, at the lowest I did on deadlift, I did like 530 at like 150 pounds, 155, 160 pounds body weight. I've done that. Right now, I'm like 178, 177 body weight, right? I just woke up. I'm bulking kind of right now. Well, not even really bulking. I'm just giving myself a little freedom, a little break from actually, dieting and trying to be shredded. But I'm staying relatively lean. I'm keeping my flat stomach. I'm not gonna get fat. I'm monitoring myself. I'm not editing that out. I'm a human being. I'm monitoring myself. Said it wrong again. I don't care. You know what I'm talking about. On a loose basis. All right. Not getting on the scale every day. I'm not even counting my calories every day. I count my calories anyways because I'm just not counting them like very accurate. I'm kind of loosely counting them, all right? Kind of like getting in the ballpark of where I want to be, right? And I got a weight limit, which I'm creeping up on, right? So I'm gonna have to start cutting real soon. And even when I cut, I don't have to get all the way shredded. I just, make sure I ain't fat. You know what I'm saying? And get back at it, get it back cracking. Speaking on back cracking. All right, I was in the gym the other day. My max on deadlift is 5 something. The other day, 455 during my warm up felt like it was nothing. It felt like nothing was even on the bar. I was extremely strong that day. I could have got a PR that day. Well, you should have went for it. Nah, once my spidey senses kicking in, it's telling me that if I attempt this lift, I'm most likely gonna be injured. And what's gonna happen? If I'm injured, I can't train. What's gonna happen if you can't train? Everything that you built is going away. I don't care if the camera's right here. I don't care if somebody's watching and I want to impress, some dude that think he's stronger than me or some chick or whatever. It's not worth it. Even if you're in a powerlifting competition, it's not worth it, all right? Everybody has good and bad days. To be yelling at each other, I get it. They trying to build character and this and that and the third. No, they're getting people hurt, bruh. They're going to get people hurt. That's not training. That's not what training's supposed to be like. Yeah, Greg Doucette says things like train harder than last time. But what he says, he means it in a reasonable way. Once form, this is my opinion. Once your form is breaking down too much, then you might be ego lifting. If you going for it, or if you're not hitting, you don't have to be perfect. But if you're not, if the weight is too heavy, you're on a squat, right? Let's say you're on a squat. If the weight is too heavy for you to go down and come back up with it, lighten the weight. Swallow your pride. Lighten the weight. You don't have to hit this high number. All right? I don't got no pride when it comes to the squat. Not yet. Yeah, keyword, yeah. I get strong on the squat. I'm having some kind of pride, but not foolish pride. All right? So, I respect a 135-pound squat that was squatted all the way down and come back up way more than I respect somebody who does 500 pounds and only go down 1 inch. Anybody with any relative strength can do that, right? My thing is, when you're doing that, you just care about the number that's on the bar, you're risking injury. I don't care if it's squat, bench, deadlift, whatever. Because only thing you care about is putting the weight on the bar and pulling it down and lifting it. Putting the weight on the bar, picking it up, no matter how you get it up from point A to point B, right? Everybody, when I was growing up, I had friends in football class. I mean, they played football. They was on football teams. 99% of them got injured. And guess where they got injured? Most of it didn't happen on the field. Some of it. Most of it happened in the weight room. Because they had coaches that did not understand how to lift weights. And the people that's disagreeing with me, I guarantee you not on my level. Not dissing. I'm just saying, you're a beginner. When you're a beginner, it's easy to look at the flash and think that that's what it's supposed to be like. You ain't even got no experience. You ain't got nothing under your belt yet. No disrespect. I'm just telling you. It's just like anything else. It's just like I got 2 kids. You know what I'm saying? If they try to tell me some stuff, I've been through the life already. You can't tell me, son. What? I'm just saying that's how I look at beginners, bro. Because I was a beginner before myself. But you do not, beginners make mistakes. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. You ain't got to comment it. Comment if you want to. Beginners make mistakes. They got to find their way. Yeah. But it is bad if they break their back before they find their way. Will Tennyson is a good lifter. Right? He knew that he was supposed to stop when he was going to that level. He knew that. He don't train like that. This guy's 20 times better than these guys. Panna, he doesn't train like that. Russell Ori doesn't train like that. Yeah, they lift heavy weights. But they don't got that type of, they don't go by nowhere near those rules. They say they do something more similar to what I say to do. You go hard, but you go hard within reason. You live to live another day. You stay hydrated. And you don't just finish the set if it's killing you. You do not just finish the set. Right? You gotta know when to hold and know when to fold. Yeah, it sounds tough, it looks tough, it gets views, it gets naive people people that don't understand what's going on, it gets them. Yeah! Okay, go ahead. Do what you do. I ain't telling you what to do. I'm just warning you. And I'm going to tell you I told you so. So comment, like, subscribe, and share. Holler back at your boy. Watch my other videos for real actual fitness footage, all right? Type in Rapid Time Fitness how to, and you will see how to actually do it. I got videos how to do all kind of shit. And compare them, all right? Shoot. All right, holler back. Peace.